In this video, you will learn how to make a pattern for salwar pants. The salwar is a traditional Indian variety of light pleated trousers commonly worn with a kameez or a shirt. They are made loose along the legs, tapering to a tight fit around the ankles. To make a pattern, you will need a pattern sheet, markers in 3 different colors, a ruler, a measuring tape, and a pair of scissors. Lay the pattern sheet flat on the table. Remember that fabric is often cut on fold, as in this case, to achieve symmetry. Pattern will therefore contain just 1/2 of the pants. Keep in mind that the measurements used here are for a small-sized adult. If you want to adapt the garment to your own size, you will need the following measurements. We shall start by marking the points that will guide the basic structure of the salwar. Plot out these points as illustrated. Mark point B, 34 inches along the longer edge from point A, which is at the top corner. AB represents the length of the salwar up to the waistband, which will be made separately. Now, mark point C, 8 inches from A towards B. Next, plot out the points perpendicular to the longer edge. Mark point D, 15.5 inches from A. Now, mark point E, 17.5 inches from C. CE represents the hip line. Mark point F, 6.5 inches from point B. Mark a point G, 2 inches from E towards C. Now, draw a line from C to E. Draw a line connecting D to G. Draw a line from F to B. We shall now draw arcs that define the crotch seam and inseam lines of the salwar. Start drawing a dotted arc from G to E as shown. You may now connect the dotted line. Once this is done, draw another arc from E to F. Draw a line connecting these dots as well. We shall now define the hem allowance around the leg hole. Mark a point H 2 inches below B and another point I 2 inches below F. Connect the points BF and HI. We shall now mark the seam allowance along the inseam and the crotch seam lines. Using a different colored marker, mark a series of equally spaced out points 1/2 inch outside the crotch seam and inseam lines. Join all the marked points with a dotted line. Shade the seam allowance with the same color. Now, using a third color, shade the hem allowance as shown. You may now start cutting the pattern along the outline. To avoid confusion, you may write the name of the garment on the pattern. You may also mark the side which will be laid on the fold of the fabric. You have now learned how to cut the pattern for a salwar. Watch the remaining videos and finish your garment.